getting this panel underway. If you haven't heard it already, we do have a microphone located right down in front for whatever questions you may have for the two of them. So start thinking about your questions right now. Are you guys ready to get this panel underway? Alright, it's my absolute privilege to bring to the stage at this time we have Amelie, McLain, and David Thornton!
I saw that sitting there. I almost sat on that.
How's it going, guys? Good.
Wow, dude.
How are you? I'm so good. So excited. How was yesterday? I know you guys get to do a lot of these photo ops actually in character. How was yesterday?
Oh, that was fun.
Yes.
I love fun. Got to mess with the crowd some, so that was fun.
He always does.
Someone didn't know how to play Duck Duck Goose though.
I did see that, and I also saw, David, that you took a picture with one of the puppies that was up for adoption yesterday as Art the Clown.
Yeah! I love puppies. That's like my kryptonite, is I see puppies or kitties and I'm like, oh my god, everything stops. I'm like, stop, I gotta go have puppy time or kitty time, so yeah.
I mean, it's pretty great that Art the Clown helped a puppy find a forever home, so.
Yeah, yes you
we
do.
love that so much.
He's a psychopath, but not a monster.
Yeah. Just like the animals, we love that. So first and foremost, I just want to, of course, congratulate you guys on the huge success of the Terrifier franchise. This thing is just, I mean, taken the world by storm. What has that been like for the two of you guys since number 2 is released?
Honestly, I did not expect it at all, especially when I auditioned for the role. I had no clue what I was getting into. I'd never seen the first one or anything. And just the way that Terrifier 2 blew up is crazy. It's also crazy to me how it's hard, not hard, but it's a little hard for me to balance school and then I come to these conventions and it's all these fans and all this horror and I love it, but it's almost like I have a double life a little bit. So it's kind of cool to go back to school and be like, oh, I met blah blah blah. Oh, I went to this convention, visited this city. So yeah, I'm so grateful that it blew up the way it did so that I'm able to go to conventions and meet people and visit places, so yeah.
You're like the spooky Hannah Montana.
Yeah, what about you?
Hannah Montana.
Oh! So good.
I should be in marketing. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like her, when I first signed up to do this, I didn't know what I was getting into. I was just I just wanted to work. I was a struggling actor in New York City, and I had never done film work or anything like that, and I just stumbled into the audition for this little low-budget independent film that I didn't think anybody was going to see. I had no idea it was going to go explode like this, especially even after part 2 came out, it got so much bigger, and even the past few months is with whatever's been going on TikTok. I'm such an old fart, I don't have TikTok. But everybody's like, oh my god,
I can fill you in, don't worry.
it's been insane, yeah. It was so many videos people are sending me now of just memes and everything. This is insane.
My friends send me them.
Yeah.
I'll get random people from school that send me TikToks and be like, is this you? I'm like, yeah.
Were you a fan of horror before you joined the Terrifier?
No, I was 11. I was in 5th grade. So, not really.
We corrupted her.
But the fact that you were 11 and you were able to play that role, and especially so good, the way that you guys worked in tandem in Terrifier 2 was so incredible. So what was that like for the two of you guys working together?
It was fun. Yeah. I was amazed with how quickly she adapted to things and stuff like that. Our first day filming together was the possum scene.
Yes, my favorite scene.
And there's so much more to that scene than what's on screen. We filmed so much extra stuff. There's probably another movie inside of that movie with just us playing with a possum. And we just played. Dave was he's just follow David or something like that.
Yeah. We just improv that whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing about David. I love working with him because he's just fun. And he's just fun to be around. The scenes were just fun, playing with the guns and everything. It was just a fun time.
Fun for you, terrifying for us, so. It's so funny because, you know, the whole thing that was happening was people were literally getting sick in the theaters, right? Like, and I hadn't seen it, but yesterday, like, my husband and I were out at dinner, and our server was like, I was one of those people. I mean, like, it was really happening. Like, did you guys get to witness any of these? Like, did you go to any of the showings where people were getting sick in the theaters?
I wouldn't say I saw someone actually just everywhere, but I did see a few people like run out of the theaters at one point when I went to one screening there in New York without people knowing I was in the audience because I just wanted to see how people would really react to things, and I just saw one person at one time go, oh, no, just get out. And I'm like, yes! Yes! But I'm glad I didn't see the puke because I can't take puke myself. No.
Okay.
That's
I brought my
weakness.
grandma. And my grandma's like very put together. She lives right at a country club. She goes out and she plays pickleball and golf, plays with her friends, you know. She's all put together and poised. And she's alwa't proud of me for anything I do. So she decided she wanted to bring her little pickleball friend to my movie. So she brought her friend group of like five old women to this Terrifier 2, and I showed up there, and they had like their blankets and like over their heads, and like right behind their jackets, and just like this. So that's what I witnessed. I felt a little bad, but yeah.
That's like something that happened with my sister. My sister lived at the time was living in a very religious group home in Alabama. And because she's mentally and physically handicapped, and so were the rest of the residents there. And she's like, oh, David, we're going to watch Terrifier 2 tonight. I'm like, no, please don't. You're going to traumatize it. But she did, and she calls me up after. It's like, wow.
I liked it.
I saw your butt. I used to diaper that butt. I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, it's very bloody. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, is everybody okay? Like, no.
Yeah. So great. So Amelie, like obviously being one of the youngest members, if not the youngest member of the cast, how did you approach like playing such a terrifying role?
I get this question a lot, and I honestly don't even really know how I did it. It's kind of weird to think about. Like, I guess when I got on set, I really just watched David from like behind the scenes, and Damien helped me a little bit, but it was mostly just improv on my part. And people were like, you're so scary, so I guess I did something right, but it was literally just improv. I just made creepy faces. Yeah.
And obviously, like, I was gonna say we're sad that Damien isn't here this weekend, understandable, you know, there's still, I'm sure, stuff to do before the next movie comes out. But the makeup and the special effects, especially for art, and your character too, like, what was it like seeing yourselves in the makeup for the first time?
That was cool, because that was a real fun treat for me. I've always loved like really crazy makeup jobs and stuff like that, going back to my children's theater days where I played a lot of crazy animals and stuff like that. So my first day doing the makeup was a makeup test over at one of the houses that Phil had that he was renovating or something like that. And so I went and like spent like 30 minutes in the bathroom just making faces and stuff like that. They probably thought I was doing something else in the bathroom. But I do that anytime I get crazy makeup. I like to see where I can go with my face with stuff like, especially with art. I wanted to see how far I could go with things. And my final test was they had just ordered pizza, and they're like, okay, this is your final audition. It's like, go answer the door as art for the pizza guy. No one expects that. This poor guy, I opened up the door and there's like, and he's like, oh hell no. And I'm just like,
well, we got a big tip. There you go.
Like, here's the money, man. He's like,
My little pale girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very crazy seeing myself like that too. Especially like, I really loved seeing myself in the contacts and the dentures and like the matted hair. It was just like nothing I've ever like dressed up as before, you know. And the whole process took like a really long time. It took like 3 hours to get into the makeup and 3 hours to get out of the makeup. So it was good finally seeing what it looked like after sitting in the chair for 3 hours. I was like ready to see what I looked like. So yeah.
What I loved about your makeup too is like a lot of people don't know is two things. Like one of them is like you had really hairy arms.
Yeah.
that was like crazy. You said like sometimes people don't even realize that that's not actually your real hair.
Yeah, Damien glued fake hair onto my arms to make them look really hairy, and then I have like a lot of people in my Instagram comments like, this girl has really hairy arms.
She's Italian.
It's not my arm hair, guys, please.
And there's also your teeth. Like a lot of people don't realize this, but Damien inverted the teeth. So like the top teeth are the bottom teeth, and the bottom teeth are the top teeth.
So my top teeth are like way smaller, and my bottom are like what would normally be your top.
He's such a genius.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And then in some of the scenes, we kind of tried this out. I don't think it made every scene because it's kind of like falling off. But we did teeth on my nails. We glued like fake teeth onto my nails, so like every little nail had like a tooth on it. But then like, yeah, I know. But then like, I don't know, some of it, you might be able to see a little peek of it in some of the scenes, but yeah.
That's why you were doing a lot of playing with your nails.
Yeah, all the little Easter eggs in the film, yeah.
So before we do get to questions from the crowd, what can you legally tell us about Terrifier 3? What are you able to tell us?
People gonna die. A lot of people are gonna die. Of course, it's a Christmas film, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's opened up a lot of fun places to go with some kill scenes and other types of scenes in the movie like that. I will say one of my favorite scenes I've ever done is in this film, and I'm very excited for everybody. So that was probably one of my favorite weeks on set, was filming with some of these actors. I was in this scene with some people I've grown up watching films my whole entire life. So being able to interact with these actors in a professional way like that was a lot of fun. But one thing I like to say about this one is not with me, it's with Lauren Lavera, who's coming back as Sienna, and it's something I'm very happy that Damien addressed in this. Is like something I've noticed in a lot of horror films with final girls, when they come back for a second movie or third movie, they're totally fine. They're totally fine and well adjusted to life, like nothing ever traumatic happened. And that's something that we address in this movie, is like how this type of situation that had happened to her and her brother, how this affects them as survivors, and how they have been going through life since then, because there's a time jump and stuff like that in this. So it's really cool, and I think both Elliot and Lauren really handled that aspect of their characters in a really great way. I think both of them really grew in a lot of ways as actors in this film, and I'm very excited for everybody to see that.
It's only a few weeks away. We're getting close.
Oh, yeah. And I will also say I'm very excited for everybody to see the finale of the film. That was an awesome week on set too, and it's one hell of a fight. So.
I don't doubt it. That's so exciting. Cool. All right, so let's take some questions from y'all. We got the microphone right up front. Whatever questions y'all may have, now is your chance. Come on down. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Drew. I was curious if you could have any celebrity be a victim of Art the Clown in a movie, who would it be, and how would you like to see them be killed?
I want to be a victim of Art the Clown. I should come back just like as me, and Art should just kill me, like Amelie McLain. How would you kill me, David?
With kindness. Death by puppies.
I would say myself.
Oh my gosh, okay, celebrity. That's so wrong. I think for me it would be, another killer clown that I would love to bring in, would be Mark Hamill. And it's like I think that would be fun because he's my favorite Joker and stuff like that. So I think that would be funny to make him laugh to death. Some way, just tickling him or something. I don't know. I would find some way to make him him. Just so you just hear that great Joker laugh the whole entire time. It'd just be so much fun. And then he dies. Just like one of the weasels in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You gotta die laughing.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, any suggestions or? Okay, great. Hey, yeah.
Hey David, hey Amelie. I'm Lucretia. My question is, how would one describe Art's relationship to the pale girl? Is she like his, like a physical embodiment of the evil that drives him? Is she like an offspring? Is she like a sibling? Or is she just his imaginary friend?
She's a sidekick.
In a way, it's hard to say things without revealing things too, but I kind of also look at it as a cohort in some ways, but also kind of like a boss. This is the thing that's got him focused. You know, because he's very ADD. He likes to just go around and kill things, whatever. But this is something that's given him a mission.
And the laundromat scene, like the opening scene, it was almost like Art was like a little bit, what's the word? Like when he saw me, he wasn't like, he was a little nervous or unsure.
Yeah, it's like, what is this?
Like,
oh. Because, well, he had just come back from the dead too, so he's like, what's going on right now that he's seeing
like
this thing?
intimidated a little.
Yeah, just a little bit like, and then, oh, she pooped on the ground. Okay, she's cool. we cool.
Okay, thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, MJ. So my question, I had it and then I panicked and now I'm blanking right now, so I'm so sorry.
Well, it happens to me all the time.
I know, I just had it and then it flew away.
Yeah, I'll be like memorizing how I'm supposed to say it.
Remember, you can't have brain fart without art.
What is a story or something that happened on set but no one's ever asked the right question to get it? Like something you've always wanted to tell people about making the movie, or like something funny that happened?
Oh gosh. Well, I'll go ahead and address it because I know this it's pertaining to part 3, because I know this is the whole thing that's been getting around and stuff like that, and it's the whole thing about everybody's asking, is it true that you almost puked on set? Yes. It is very, very true. This was not a publicity stunt or anything like that. This is very true. They actually have me on film getting really nauseous and everything like that. It's something that Damien put into the scene that I think he knows makes me extremely nauseous and grossed out and everything like that. He's like, hey, let's just mess with Dave and see what happens to him. And everybody was just eating it up. I think everybody was in on it. They're like, let's see. I was like, hey, it's like, sometimes like, Steve Delicella would fill in for me to be my arm or something like that while I was getting in makeup or something, so they could keep filming. So I'm like, hey, can we send Steve in just to be my arm in this scene instead? They're like, no, Dave, we got, your face is in the shot, we got to show you. I'm like, oh God, why, guys? And then they make it worse because we're in this really hot, stinky house too, filming. And then one of my co-stars comes in, that's not in the scene. They're eating this smelly bag of corn nuts. And it just made it worse. And they're just coming, hey, Dave, how are you? Like, it was just, I almost did, but I was so worried about messing up my makeup. Because I'm like, oh, that's just gonna be horrible for my poor makeup artist to have to deal with too. So I was like, okay, just hold it, swallow it, and just like deal. And I was very proud of myself for making it through that, but it's gross. And I understand someone has seen like one of the distributors, I think in the UK, saw a cut of the scene, and they're like, oh yeah, there's this one scene that they almost puked in. I'm like, I bet I know which one it was, because it got me too. So yeah, I say, don't eat right before Terrifier 3. Yeah.
Like a late lunch.
Yeah, late lunch. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Michelle. The set work on these movies is fantastic. So in that, was there a set that you guys really enjoyed either working on? Was there a set that you walked on and you were like, what the fuck? Was, many options here.
Yeah. Well, one of the really cool sets was when we were driving that car and I was voicing Jonathan to Sienna, and like it was just really funny because the car wasn't actually driving, but my mom was like in the back seat and she was like reading my lines to me, and then I was trying to like focus and like get my lines right, and then outside there's like 10 different guys like shaking the car as hard as they can. It's all this chaoticness, trying to make the car look like it was driving. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. For me, the set that was fun for me was the whole Abracadabra shop that we filmed in for the costume shop scene, because that place was just cool anyway. If you're ever in New York City, go to Abracadabra. This place is amazing. It's like this 2-story costume shop. It's got everything in it. So like in between takes, I'm walking around just having fun and just playing with things. Then they brought out a lot of props for me. It's like the whole thing with sunglasses. There's another movie in it right there too, where I'm just playing with props. They just let me play with props all night, and I went down that whole entire rack of sunglasses. I was playing with whoopee cushions, giant cigars, whatever props were around, noisemakers, all that. So that was fun. But the one that was really cool, but also kind of sucked to be in, was where we filmed the whole finale of the film, the actual Terrifier, because that's an actual haunted house, a haunt in up there in Philly at a Fright Factory. And I mean, it's a cool place, and that place is huge, but it was so cold. We were filming it in like January and February of 2020, and right before COVID and everything like that, and it was miserable in there, especially for poor Lauren, because she's wearing that skimpy little Valkyrie costume, and she's covered in yuck and everything for days and days and days. We're filming so much, but we made it to, there's one night where apparently they had been doing renovations 2 stories above us, and they had not put the pipes in the right way for the sewage. And we're all of a sudden we walk in one day and we're like, God, it smells down here, and we notice this trickle coming through the ceiling in this one room. We're like, oh no. And what had happened, it was draining all into the second floor, and the second floor was just draining into where we were. I was like, oh,
They just really wanted to bring Terrifier to real life.
Oh yeah, it made it, but like the environment we filmed in was so cool. The aesthetics were exactly what we needed for that part of the film. So I was like, that was great. It helped save us a lot for having to build a set and everything for that. So it was cool, but also kind of sucked at the same time because of the temperature.
Yeah, I was just really impressed with the laundromat set, because I was just like,
oh yeah,
what are they gonna even do here? I don't understand. And then
I love that scene too, because I love the scenes where art just is in public,
yes,
in everyday situations and does stuff. That's just, like, you've never seen a slasher character go in and just do their laundry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, this is brilliant. When Damien showed me that scene, I was like, I love this scene. This is such a great concept. And there's some more scenes like that in part 3 where art's in public messing around. So I had a lot of fun with those too. So.
Thank you.
Hey. Hi, I'm Misty. My question is, what is your advice for people who are going into acting?
First of all, I would say keep learning. Always be a learner, consummate learner. I'm always learning new things myself. So I would also suggest getting involved with local theater groups. That's where I cut my teeth, was doing community theater and church theater of all things. Just another thing I would say is be persistent. Keep learning and be persistent. And I mean, like, I was in New York City for 13 years, waiting tables and doing side jobs and doing acting jobs whenever I could get them. And for every like 10 million no's I got, I would get one yes. And it was like, all it takes is that one yes to change everything for you. And so don't get discouraged. I've seen so many people that had amazing talent when I was up there in New York, a lot of my friends, amazingly talented actors, and they gave up very early. Because I think a lot of them were like from small towns, like I was, and they had unrealistic expectations. And like, no, it's like we're in a sea of extremely talented people. You're talented too. You're just competing against a lot of other talented people. But especially if you're getting callbacks, that means you're doing something right. So don't give up. Especially if this is what you love doing. Don't give up, and just keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. You just never know what might lead you one day. But be persistent, keep learning, and have fun. Because I think people forget how to have fun too. I think they get too swamped into the business of it all. And I think if you're going in there and having fun at the auditions, that's when you'll actually book a job too.
Thank you.
Yes,
You're welcome.
there's a lot of, going along with what you said about the like 5 million no's and one yes, there's a ton of rejection in the industry, and it is hard to get used to, but just keep going. I've auditioned for so many things, and you know, I haven't got the part, and it doesn't mean that you're bad, it just means you're not exactly what they were looking for, and you know, maybe you don't have brown hair, or your eyes are green instead of blue, but just keep going. And I would say also, just start taking acting classes. That's how I started. I started in 3rd grade, and I just took like an acting class, an improv class near me, and with some other kids my age, and it really helped me. It helped me to start out, and yeah, that's how I started, and it was really nice. So yeah, do an acting class.
I'll also back off of that with like the rejection. I'm like, I was, right before Terrifier, I was up for about 5 or 6 different Broadway tours. I was in final callback for like Beauty and the Beast, Peter and the Starcatcher, Annie, all that kind of stuff. And every single one of them fell through for one reason or another. And I was getting like, oh my gosh, come on, come on. And then this little audition for Terrifier came up. And I was like, you know what? I want experience doing film work. I might as well audition for this thing. Who knows? And changed my life. But the thing is, like, if I had gotten any of those other jobs, I wouldn't have been able to audition for Terrifier or film Terrifier. And where would I be right now? So sometimes things happen for a reason.
Everything happens
So
for a
don't
reason.
get discouraged. Like if you don't get something, it just means you weren't right for that at
Exactly
that
what-
time. There's something else you're supposed to be doing. That's the type of mentality I took when I got rejected. It's like, okay, I'm not meant to do this. There's something else I'm meant to do. So look at it from that point of view.
Thank you. Good question, Misty. I was going to also ask, because it's like walking around any convention now, right? Looking out into the audience, I mean, you see merch, you see, of course, right in front, you see people dressed up as both of your characters, and now Terrifier is on this level of some of the horror greats. I mean, it's on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore. What does this mean to you guys personally to know that this film is changing horror?
It means a lot. It's just like, it's something, like when we made the first one, we didn't expect any of this. We just hoped some people that liked All Hallows Eve were gonna watch this and maybe tell their friends. So to see what has happened has been mind-blowing for all of us. The whole entire team is extremely grateful to the fans. I know Damien wishes he could be here, but he's right now in Mexico right now doing sound design for Terrifier 3, so he sends his best and everything, and I know he is extremely grateful because you guys changed his life. He was delivering flowers while we were filming the first 2 movies, and now he's able to actually just spend time doing what he loves to do, and he's so eternally grateful for you guys. You've changed so many people's lives in so many ways, and that's the thing. It's like we're just fanboys ourselves. We just like we kind of got tired of mainstream Hollywood horror movies just giving us mediocre movies, and we're like, well, you know, if they're not making the movies we want to see, why don't we just make the movies ourselves? And so that's what we do. We just go in there and have fun with it, and that's what happened with Terrifier 3. We were approached by the studios to do Terrifier 3, and we're like, they were offering us a lot of good money and stuff like that, and we thought about it hard because we knew the studios were going to want control. And we knew they were not going to allow us to film what we wanted to film. And we're like, well, you know, we can't do that to the fans. Damien even went to like our ArtCon appreciation page and put a survey up there. It's like, hey guys, would you rather have a big budget Terrifier film with studio controlling things, or would you rather have an independent, lower budget Terrifier film, but we're able to do what we want to do? And it was unanimous, like, do what you want to do. And we're like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. This is what the fans want. The fans got us where we are. We're gonna stick to what the fans want. So yeah, we made Terrifier 3 on a smaller budget than we could have, but we didn't care because we were able to make the film we wanted to make for you guys, because we know we could not pull back from what you guys were expecting of us. We didn't want to sell out to Hollywood that way, and we had so much fun because of it, because we didn't have people telling us no. We could just like, hey, let's add this into this skill. Should we do this? Yeah, we probably shouldn't, but why not? People are probably gonna hate us for doing this to this type of person, but oh well. And that's the thing, is like, I think what's happened a lot in the industry now is like people are so risk averse, because back in like the 80s and 70s, people were making movies for like maybe like a few $1 million. And so if the movie flopped, it wasn't a big, huge financial burden that way. So they were more free to experiment with where they could go with film. And it seems like now everything's like $100 million plus movie. And so people don't want to take those risks anymore because they're too afraid if it flops, they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars. And I guess that's a benefit of what we are. It's like, yeah, we can take those risks. And I think that's what's helping the genre go forward. It's like, I think I've noticed it, and I hope maybe we're part of it, is like there's a lot more movies starting to be made now, more independent films, where they are actually pushing boundaries and doing new things again, like in a violent nature and stuff like that. I thought that was an incredible kill. They had that one. I was like, well done. I was like, and I'm hoping to see more filmmakers, especially a lot of independent films, getting more notoriety these days and age, getting people to see in film and in theaters and stuff like that. And in a way, I kind of hope that we've helped encourage that in some ways. So we're very, very grateful for the fans for allowing us to have that freedom to do what we want to do, because we just want to make the films that we all love.
I'm so grateful too. I would not have been here without you guys. And you know what's crazy to me is I'll be out in public and there will be people wearing Terrifier 2 shirts, and I'm like, hey, I'm in that. I'm literally in this movie. And people are wearing Terrifier 2 shirts, or like, people are starting to recognize me out in public, and that's crazy because, you know, in Terrifier 2, I was a character, so the fact that they recognize me for my face is crazy. I was on a date at the arcade, and this dude came up and he was like, are you from Terrifier 2? I was like, yeah. It's just crazy where you can get recognized and stuff like that. And it's just crazy that it blew up like this, and it's all because of you guys, so I'm eternally grateful.
That's just weird hearing that you're out on that date now. Man, I feel old. I was like, no!
We got about 10 minutes left. Come on in, what's your question?
Hi, I'm an indie director myself of like small horror films and student films like that. So I was just wondering if you guys as actors, because you have to work so closely with the director, if you guys have any tips for building rapport or things of that nature for a director to better run a set.
Wow, that's fun. I say just be yourself. Just be yourself, and if the director's a good director, they'll understand that, and they'll get to know you as a person, and they'll find ways to work with you as yourself. And that's the thing, like Damien and I, when we first started doing Terrifier, because he was doing my makeup. So I would spend like 3 or 4 hours with him every single day in the makeup chair. So we were able to really get to know each other. We started to build a very good relationship with each other, and I feel it translates very well to screen. And Damien is like that with the whole entire cast and crew. He gets to know every single member of the cast and crew, spends time getting to know them as people. And I think that builds a layer of trust with everybody. And so everybody's willing to go the extra mile for him. And he's a great captain of the ship. And I think that's an important thing to have there. It's like, because I've worked with other directors who are very aloof or something like that. Some are just very full of themselves. And it's just, I think that's when you have a good director that's a good people person and trust their actors to bring what they need to bring to the project, that helps a whole lot. But also a director that gets to know the crew, because I feel like a lot of times the crew does not get the recognition they deserve either. And I think when you, even down to the last PA on there, if everybody feels like they're a valuable contributing member to the production, that's when you're going to get a much better product in the end.
Yeah, I would say just be genuine and make sure you get to know everybody. I've been on sets before with directors who are kind of just like off to themselves, you know, stuff like that. And I just don't feel like I'm as connected to them, you know, because actors are supposed to, you know, lean on the directors if they have questions or stuff like that. They're supposed to, you know, go up and talk to them. So Damien is an amazing director. I just feel like I can trust him with anything and ask him questions and stuff. So yeah, just make sure that you're like super genuine with everyone and just introduce yourself and make sure that they know if they have questions or anything, they can always come up to you, because for me, like, just it makes the set so much more smooth when you can connect to the director and they're not like off to the side, aloof, doing their own thing, you know?
Thank you guys.
Hey, what's your name?
Jared. My question is, what is your favorite food?
Oh my God. You take it first.
I like cheese and bread. So like grilled cheese, charcuterie board, anything like that.
The cheesy biscuits from the Red Line.
Yeah, cheese or bread. Just give me that and I'll be happy.
Yeah. I like pie. I'm a big pie person. And like pie or anything pie adjacent is great for me. It makes me very happy. I mean, for lunch for me, I had like, you know, both cobbler and banana pudding today. I was very happy. I was very happy. They had a very southern feast for me today. I'm from Alabama originally, so I live out in California. I usually don't get barbecue and hush puppies and mac and cheese, like real mac and cheese, not just like the mac and cheese, like that had real cheese on there. So I was like, oh, Krispy Kreme donuts. I love Krispy Kreme. Oh my giddy aunt. I'm like, that is like, oh my God. I could be a spokesperson for Krispy Kreme. I swear to God. One time when I was, this sounds stupid, makes me sound stupid, but I was in like middle school or high school. No, it was high school. Yeah, I was, every year for the first day, the first Sunday in my youth group before school started, they would bring in Krispy Kreme donuts for every Sunday school class, like boxes of them. And there was this girl I had a crush on, and I was like, I'm gonna show her how cool I am. I ate 2 whole boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts, 24 donuts, trying to like, look how cool I am.
She probably thought you were pretty cool.
Not when the fiber hit me. I was like, oh, my mom was just making fun of me and stuff like that, but it didn't deter me from Krispy Kreme. If I see a Krispy Kreme anywhere, I'm like, where is, I'm there. It makes me happy. So yeah, Krispy Kreme, hire me.
Thank you. Great question.
Thank you.
All right, I think this might be, this will be our final question. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Peter. Going back to what you said before about with chances, that you're saying that if you didn't get those roles, so you were able to get the Terrifier role. If you had gotten one of those Broadway roles, and so you weren't able to do Terrifier, who do you see? There would be nowhere near what you could do, but who could you see playing the role?
Well, that's easy for me. It would be Doug Jones. And Doug has always been like one of my idols too. So I think Doug's an amazing character actor, and he's someone I have built my career around. I've watched him my whole entire life, idolized him, watched him, analyzed him, and I was like, if anybody could play him, it would be Doug. And I'm very happy to call him a friend now too. So it's like it's kind of cool. But yeah, he's fantastically talented. I think that man does not get the love he deserves, because he is an amazing human being too, but he's just amazingly talented.
But who could you see if you didn't get the role?
Ooh. Well, I did meet Amy Donald from Megan, and that was really cool. And I think I could be good at playing Megan, and she could be good at playing Little Pale Girl, just because we both have experience in that realm, you know, playing creepy young characters. Yeah, I know. There should be a crossover. But yeah, I like
that idea.
I think we could be cool. Like, she'd be cool as me, I'd be cool as her. I think we could do that.
Thank you very much.
Great question.
Question.
Yeah. So, before we wrap it up, last night, I'm not sure who else all went, but Stream was so much fun. Congratulations.
Thank you.
About Stream.
Thank you. Yes. This is a movie that we made with the Fuzz and the Lens team that were part of the Terrifier 2 team, as well as Damien. He came in and did the practical effects for it, and we filmed it during COVID. We were all camped out in a hotel in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for about a month and a half, filming this movie, and we had a lot of fun. It's a crazy film, like especially the cast in this movie is like waking up on set every day and like, okay, who's on set today? That's like all these legends from the horror world. You know, you have Felissa Rhodes, Dave Sheridan, Daniel Roebuck, Terry Alexander, Tim Reed, Danielle Harris, Dee Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, Tony Todd, Bill Moseley, Tim Curry. It was like, holy crap. And we just all got together and just made a fun movie that we're hoping is going to become a franchise, but that's up to the fans. We have a limited run in theaters right now, so if you can, please go see it tonight. We're hoping to get it extended for a longer stay in the theaters like Terrifier 2 was, but that's all dependent on the fans, so please please go out and see it. I play one of the killers in it. I had a lot of fun. He's a very sadistic little jerk in it, and I like it. So yeah, I have that one. And of course, there's another movie that I have coming out early next year too. I've been a busy boy. It's called Scream Boat. You might have heard about this one. I play a little bitty mouse named Willie. So, oh boy! I'm gonna ruin everybody's childhood. Had a lot of fun filming this. We did it with a lot of the Terrifier team as well as the Mean One team. So we had a joint production there, and I just wrapped on that recently. Had an extensive makeup job on that one. Very hot costume, but it looks awesome. And if you're a Disney fan, you're gonna love that one as well. It's got a lot of fun Disney jokes in there, so you got a lot of good stuff to look forward to. We got Stream right now, got Terrifier 3, October 11th, and Scream Boat comes out in January. So I think we got a lot of things to keep you guys busy for the next half year or so. So I hope you're excited.
We're going to be heading to their booth directly after this, so make sure to go visit them if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.